Right, good morning, everyone. So depending on the time you're seeing this video, good afternoon and good evening. All right, today we have, this is AC circuit and this is physics, of course. So remember, we have in an AC circuit, we have resistor only. In an AC circuit, we have capacitor only. In an AC circuit, we have inductor only. In an AC circuit, we also have inductor and capacitor, capacitor and resistor, resistor and inductor, and all of them. Then we have the last one, which is RLC circuit. They can be measured in series and they can also be measured in parallel. But this while you have been doing videos on the ones in series, maybe parallel will come later. Are you okay? All right. Look at the question. The question says, from the question you'll be able to know whether it is CR or RC. Are you getting me? Or LC. He said a circuit consists of a resistor, so you know that there is a resistor, right? Okay, 500 ohms and a capacitor of 5 microfarad connected in series if an alternating voltage of 10 volts and a frequency of 50 hertz is applied across the series circuit. We are asked to calculate the what? Calculate the what? Okay, and which other one? The current flowing in the circuit, the voltage across the capacitor. If the capacitor is replaced with an inductor of 150 millihenry, they say calculate the impedance and the voltage across the inductor. So before the end of this class, we look at all this and how they can be handled. But before then, can we draw the circuit? Are we ready? Okay, so remember they mentioned the resistor. So that means I have a resistor here. I want to use this to represent my resistor, and the resistor is what? 500 ohms. And we also have a capacitor. These are their symbols, right? And capacitor of what? 5 what? Microfarads. Okay, connected in series. Why we say in series? Because only one wire connects both capacitor and the resistor. So, and this goes down. Remember, this is not a DC. This is an AC circuit. So this is going to be the voltage source. All right. If it is a DC, we will just have this, one long and one short. This is the voltage source or the EMF. All right. Okay. So we should be able to know the difference. So being an AC, we must record the voltage or the voltage source, which is 10 volts and what? 50 hertz, which is the frequency. All right. So this is the diagram. But if you look at this diagram, you realize that we have a resistor and we have a capacitor, right? In another video, I'm going to explain what happens to a capacitor, because they say that in this case now, capacitor, the current is going to lead or lag? The voltage is going to lag. Current is leading. I will explain that in the next video today, not today. Then I will upload this as well. So if you realize this is ohms, resistance. Whenever you see ohms, you know it's what? Resistance. So you know what happened? A capacitor can also be a resistance. But the capacitor that will be a resistance is not going to be in farad. What farad does is to do what? Store charges. But we can find the resistance by finding what is called what? Capacitive reactance. Reactance of what? A capacitor. We now make it to be what? In ohms. But the way it is now is just a capacitor. So for us to find the reactance of the capacitor, that means the resistance that the capacitor is putting in the circuit, the resistance that this capacitor is offering in the circuit, we are going to find its reactance of the capacitor. So which formula can we use? We are going to use X sub C is giving us what? 1 all over 2 pi FC. Okay, so we are going to do that. We have this 1 all over. There is 2 pi, which is 2 times pi is, okay, pi is 3.14. 3.14 times frequency is giving us what? 50, all right? Times 5. This symbol is what? Microfarad, which is what? 10 times minus 6. Good. So this is how to convert the capacitor into what? Its reactance or its resistance value. And we call it reactance of a capacitor or capacitive reactance. All right, so let's do it now. Let's just do it this way. I don't want no issue. I don't want us to have it. Are you with your calculator? Let's multiply 2 times 3.14 times 50 times 5. Only tell me your value. 1570, right? Then remember this, times 10 raised to power minus 6. So the next thing I'm going to do is do this. Let's convert this one to standard form. So it's going to be, it's going to be 1 all over what? 1.570 times 10 raised to power what? How many places did it go? 1, 2, 3 times 10 raised to power 3 times 10 raised to power minus 6. Okay? Is this thing showing in the video? This place? It shifted a little. Come. Shift a little to get to that point. Don't shake too much. No. Hold the handle. It's okay. Is it showing? Recording has stopped. Don't worry. We'll get there. So, no, at this point, let's now do what we are going to have. 1 all over what? 1.57 times 10 raised to power minus 3. Right? So the next thing, tell me 1 all over. Do this for me. 1 divided by 1.57. 0.36 times 10 raised to power what? 3. Do you know why it's 3? Because I'm going to say times 10 raised to power 0. And because they are dividing, minus will be plus. So this 3 will go up and become plus. Are you with me now? So look at this. I'm going to convert this one into standard form as well. So it's going to be 6.36 times 10 raised to power what? Minus 1. Why is it minus 1? Because it started with 0 point, and the point is moving one place in front of the 6. So it means 1, but it's going to be negative 1 times 10 raised to power 3, which is going to be 6.36 times 10 raised to power what? 3 minus 1 is what? 2. And because I'm looking for reactance of a capacitor, the value is going to be what? In ohm. Are you getting me? So we have converted a capacitor, which is in a microfarad, to a resistance in ohms. Are you getting me now? Yes. So the value is approximately 636 ohms. So you see, the resistor offered by a capacitor is 636, which is about 136 more than the resistance offered by the resistor, which is 500 ohms. Is that understood? All right. We are going to clean this, and I'm going to solve the next one, which is the current flowing in the circuit. Please pause the video. Okay. All right. Let's go to number 2. The current flowing in the circuit. Now look at the issue. If this was a DC circuit, you know what you do? Remember the resistance offered by the capacitor is what? 636. So this is 636 what? Ohms. Now, if it were a DC circuit, what do we do? Remember I told you there was a video I posted which is called Why You Don't Know Physics. Most of you use Ohm's law like this, V equal to IR. To me, I said that this formula deceive a lot of people. Why? Because you are asking for R. What if we have 2 resistors? What do you do? So I prefer you write RT, which is combined resistance or the total resistance in the circuit, right? So if it were a series, a normal DC circuit, I'm going to say 500 plus 636 ohms to get the total resistance offered in the circuit. Are you getting me? However, that cannot be applied in an AC circuit. The question should be, how can I get the combined resistance offered in this AC circuit? We go back to what is called what? Impedance or reactance. Is that understood? It is when I have found the total resistance offered in this circuit, that is now when I can now find the current flowing. Because current flowing is through the same current is flowing through 500 ohms, and also the same current is flowing through 636 ohms. So the question is, how do I find the what? The what? The what? How do I find the total resistance in the circuit? That is the next thing we should do. All right, let's go. To find the total resistance in the circuit, I'm going to find reactance. I'm going to find what? Reactance. What is reactance? I'm not saying capacitive reactance. I'm not saying inductive reactance. What is reactance? Who can define that? It's an opposition to the flow of current offered by inductor, capacitor, or both. And that is what I'm going to find. So how do I find that? I'm going to use the formula straight. I'm not going to show you how I prove it. There's a video on how I did the proof. But let's go. X is going to be square root of what? X sub C squared plus R squared. This is how to find the total resistance in an AC circuit where resistor and capacitor are included. If it were in a DC, what do? This plus this in series. Are you with me? Now let's go. Now what is this? 636 square, right? Am I in the people? Is it on it? Just long press. It turns green until it turns green. Okay, fine. What's your question?
So the X, there is not supposed to be Z because you're finding the impedance.
Okay, yes. It can be X or it can be impedance. People use it interchangeably. Some textbooks like to use Z, some like to use only X. So, but for me, I like to use X. When I'm talking about impedance, I know I'm going to be talking about RLC. So I prefer using impedance there. But they are all the same. They are all doing the impede. They want to stop current from flowing.
Okay.
All right, let's do. Remember, if I can find this value, it means I have found. Okay, it's okay. Let's go. Can we move? All right, this is plus what? 500 squared. So let's go. How do we point the calculator for me? This one is what? 404496. Right? Plus 5 is like 25. Okay, 250,000. These values are too big. All right, so let's go. Let's go. Or add them and find the square root immediately. X is what? 809,009. Correct? So the value will be what? In ohms. You see that now? So this is the combined resistance called reactance. If it is capacitive reactance, I will now put what? X sub C. Is that understood? Therefore, I can now find the current flowing in the circuit. Do you understand me? After today, I won't solve anything on this again. So I am sure we should all get acquainted to this principle. Now, what do I do? I'm going to find the voltage of the source. I'm using V sub S to represent the voltage from the battery, from the source, which is equal to what? Current, which is just one single current, times what? Times the impedance, or what? Times the reactance. I'm no longer going to use only R. I'm no longer going to use only X sub C, which is capacitive reactance. I'm going to use the both of them. Therefore, the value is what? The current is going to be what? 10 all over what? 809.009, which is what? Eh? 80.9009. Is that all? Amps. Are you sure the current is too big? Are you sure that is the value? Please, someone else should confirm the calculator. Should be in 0 point something. Can never be. No. It must be in 0 point, I'm sure. This is how we fell exam. I know it's too high. The value current cannot flow in such a value. Let's go. 0.012. Check approximately. It should be 3 now. Okay. Amps. So this is the current flowing in the AC circuit. You see, all these things we are doing here is, if you want to know the power that your circuit should carry, you should first know the voltage that will drive it. Then you know the current you should go. So that if you are buying something that you want to use to carry your where you are going to put your switch, you should know the value, if it's worth it. You understand? All right, let's go. The next one is what? The voltage across the capacitor. This one is easier. You know what to do now. Voltage across the capacitor is V sub C, which is what? Current in the circuit times what? The capacitive reactance. Voltage across this guy is going to be this. Voltage per C. So it's going to be current flowing through it times its resistance, which is what? V sub C, which is what? 0.012 times what? Times 636. V sub C is what? 7 point what? 7.632 volts. So we should be putting them here. This is 0.012 amps. And this is what? 7.632 volts. And okay, we have the last one. Please pause the video. Let's do the last question. All right, in this last question, we are going to say, he said, if the capacitor is replaced with an inductor. In fact, this is one question. That means I am going to do it here. He said, of 150 millihenry, calculate the impedance and the voltage across the inductor. Simple. That means I'm going to redraw. I have removed the what? I'm removing the capacitor now. And I'm replacing it with what? This is an inductor. What is an inductor? Who can tell me what is an inductor? Inductor is ordinary wire, normal straight line wire that you coil. Let's assume this is a wire, right? If current is passing through ordinary wire, the current behaves differently. It's just a straight line wire. Current is moving like water flowing through a pipe. But inductor is this wire now. You don't want it to be straight anymore. You want it to be coiled on a core of a rod. When you coil a wire, do you know what it does? The wire starts acting like a magnet. It builds a magnetic field. When it builds a magnetic field and current also there, then they start acting differently. Are you getting me? I'm going to explain. Let me not spoil my charger, but I'm going to explain that in a different video. All right, let's go. Inductor has been replaced with what? 150 milliwatt Henry. Henry is the unit. However, is this the reactance of inductor? Is it so? What will be the reactance of the inductor? Good. Which is going to be given as X sub L is 2 pi F L. What is L? The value of the inductor in Henry, measured in what? Henry. Are you with me? So for us to be able to find the impedance is also the same thing as what? Reactance. So I must find this value first. I'm going to say 2 times 3.14 times 50 times 150 times 10 raised to the minus 3. Remember 10 raised to the minus 3 is what? Milli.
So why is
Excuse me, you said?
So why is it minus 3, not minus 6?
In 10 minus this. Okay, see, in sciences, you know, many textbooks like to write a number that is too big. Look at this. If you have 0.000000031, scientists, they don't want to be typing this in books. It's too much to write. You write it in what? Standard form. Because you're asking why are they in milli. So you write it in standard form, right? You write 3.1 times 10 raised to what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 minus 9. The same thing, they don't want to be writing, look at this, 150 times 10 raised to minus 3 every time. So they just brought what? M to, so that they will not be suffering typing too much typing. They just have 150 M Henry. You go. Are you getting me now? The same thing with capacitor. They just want to be writing in short forms. Are you getting me? That's what I think. And that is valid. All right, let's go. The next thing is Let's open this in for me. 2 times 3.14 times 50 times 150. What is it? 7.1. 47.1. 47.1 times 10 raised to power minus 3, right? Now remember at this point, I must convert this one to, look up now. Look up. This will mess you up in work if you're not sure, if you're not careful. Let's.
47,100.
You will make this thing. I don't understand why.
He said you're correct, but they now do times 10 raised to power.
Hey, but he would have told me now. He didn't tell me. Okay, so you say it's 40 what? 47,100. Right? Times 10 raised to power minus 3. That's how you should be giving it. So that I'm going to write this one now in standard form, which is what? 4.71 times 10 raised to power 1, 2, 3, 4 raised to power 4 times 10 raised to power minus 3, which is what? 4.71 times 10 raised to power 1. Are you getting me now?
Yes.
Okay, you are giving the final answer. Then which is equal to 7.1 in what? In ohms. You see that now? You see that the value, the resistance offered by the inductor is also low compared to the resistance offered by resistor itself. Inductor's resistance is low compared to the resistance offered by the resistor itself. All right, let's go. We are done. We have found what is called the what? Resistance offered by the inductor. Let's now find the impedance. Let's find the impedance. Okay, with this, let me just go to this and find the voltage across the inductor. You know what that would be? Voltage across the inductor, which is what? V sub L is equal to current times reactance of the inductor. I think there will be a different current. You understand? There will be a different current because this value has changed to 47.1 ohms. So there will be a new current flowing in the circuit because you have removed capacitor and replaced with an inductor. That's very valid. All right. So how do we find the current? Who can tell me what to do to find the current? I'm cleaning this. So I'm going to write. Okay, it's already there. So what do we do to find the current? You say? We cannot find the current without finding the total resistance in the circuit called the impedance. So let's go to find the impedance. What is the impedance? The impedance is going to be Z equal to square root of what? R squared plus X sub L squared. This is the impedance. Let's go. Tell me. R 500 squared plus 47.1 squared. Please tell me the final answer. Square this, add all of them. Can you do that? Okay, let me tell you. This one is 250,000 plus 47.1 square is what? Eh?
2,200.
Please give me the digits. Just digit. Call the digit for this value.
2,000.
Give me the calc. 2218.41. All right, so add them. 250, 123 plus 2218.41. So everything is going to be what? Which is 502.2 ohms. Please confirm. I've added and found the square root. Confirm the value address is correct. Okay. I'm not sure of that. I'm not sure of that mic. So let me put this one out there. Okay, let's go. I don't want to make mistake on this sound. All right, let's go to the next. We have found the total reactance, right? We have found the combined reactance between the resistor and the inductor. So we can now find the current. voltage of the source is equal to current in the circuit times what? The impedance. So I'm going to say that I is equal to 10 all over 502.2, which is what? Current is also going to be very small. It should be bigger than the other one. Do you know why the current should be higher? Resistance is lower now. That one, the resistance was 634. 36, I mean. 0.019 amps. The other resist, okay, 0.012. You see that? This one is a little higher. Okay, now, finally, to finish this, let me find the voltage across the inductor, which is current in the circuit times what? Inductive reactance. Okay? So the value of the inductive reactance is going to be what? Value for this is going to be 0.019 times 502.2. The value of the inductor is what? Oh, thank you. Yes. It's going to be 47. Thank you for that. Times 47.1. And the value is going to be what? 0.894. 0.895, okay, approximately. This is in volts. All right, this is all we learned today. And in fact, with this video, or with this class, you have learned resistor, capacitor. You have also learned resistor, inductor. So we are done with that. The next thing I'm going to show you is inductor and capacitor in the next class. And I will show you only inductor. And I will show you only capacitor. Have a nice day. Please don't forget to hit the subscribe button, share this video, and